All right, welcome to day 10. We're in double digits now. What an accomplishment. If you guys watched yesterday's video, I said reward yourself, so I made it to day 10. I plan on recording myself by going to see a movie tonight. So that's going to be my reward to myself. If anybody wants to come, let me know. So what I did today is I went through the 30-day challenge. I went through some more of their videos, and I really looked at some of the recommendations that they're making for the basic things like your browser and different plugins, so how to really customize your internet experience to be able to help you when now that you're marketing, now you're using the internet for business instead of leisure. So they suggested using Firefox as your browser. Most people use, I think, Internet Explorer or Safari or one of these browsers, but they recommend using Skype. I use several browsers at once. It allows me to keep my specific bookmarks and everything. I always use Google Chrome when I'm doing searching, and Internet Explorer when I'm doing other stuff, and I always use Firefox when I'm doing something for work. It saves my tabs. Um, I really like that web browser. So they gave me a lot of cool add-ons to make it faster functioning, to give it extra little buttons that show you how your marketing, your search engine optimization is going, how many links to your site. You can research your competitors, and everything will come up right there. So they gave you a lot of good Firefox plugins and add-ons. So if you watched a video with the 30-day challenge, they'll have that for you. I also started to bookmark all the sites that I'm going to be using. Now that it's saying, use these add-ons, use this, go to this site, I started making a bookmark list. And there's actually a way I can share that with you. Once I figure out how I can share it with you, you can sign up to some service and it'll give you all the bookmarks that I've made. So if I've gone through the time making the bookmarks, telling you what they do, and having that all there, that'll be all accessible to everybody right away. Sorry, I mentioned it before I've got it done, but that's something that can get done. Shouldn't be a reason for you not to make your own bookmarks, guys. You really write down what's important to you. Now, I was going to go through and explain the different plugins that they give you, but they did that better than I will, so I'm just going to skip that. Um, I'm just going to go right to kind of a theme. I started making themes to my videos to try and get a little more consistency in what I'm doing. I'm missing my quotes sometimes. I'm missing this. I'm missing that. And the people that have contacted me have enjoyed two things the most. One is kind of hearing what I'm doing, and then they really like the topics I decide to talk about. And a lot of the time, it has nothing to do with that day's work. But so I tried to focus on a topic that had something to do with what I was working on today. So what they gave me was different tools to use, different plugins, different add-ons, so I decided to talk about tools and also to talk about feedback. Feedback is very, very important. It gives you a second set of eyes. It's really important to have people to tell you what they think, because when you see something, you're seeing it from your perspective. You're looking from your direction. And now if I go stand over here, I'm seeing things from a different view. And that's a good metaphor when it comes to the work I'm doing, the videos I'm doing. I've had people come and look at the videos and comment and mention things to me that I didn't really notice. I didn't pick up on it. And they said, "Oh, I really like that." I said, "Oh, I didn't even realize I had done that." Or they said, "This part looks, it was a little confusing." So it's really, really valuable to have someone else's opinion and hear what they have to say. Now, be careful not to let that bother you. Someone can come and give you their opinion, and it can be, just full of it, and they could be doing nothing but trying to bring you down and give you negative feedback. Everything has some value to hear from it, but really what we're looking for is constructive criticism. You really want to find someone who you respect, who you value their opinion, and who's going to take the time to try to give you some valuable criticism and valuable feedback on what you're doing. It's going to be probably one of the keys when you're trying your marketing, or you're trying writing a message, or whatever it is you're doing through this process. You want to have a second set of eyes, or someone else who's going to work through it with you, because they're going to come up with comments, questions, and things that you may not have thought about, but promise you thousands of other people are thinking about it. And if I've got, so many thousand people eventually viewing these videos, there's going to be a large group of people that are going to think similar things. each person's going to see things that I may not have noticed. And so to get that feedback in those comments is just a huge resource to me because it knows me where to improve, where can I do better, what are people liking, what is the value that I'm giving, and how can I increase that? How can I focus my time and my efforts to make sure I'm doing more of the things that are valuable and working and less of the things that aren't. And a lot of the time, just like I keep saying, you don't always know what is out there and what people are perceiving. The funny quote I've always heard people say is, "You don't know what you don't know," and it couldn't be any more true. So I really, really welcome feedback. Anyone who wants to give me a call, send a message or post, and let me know what they think. I will read it, I will respond to it, and I will act on it. And I do very much appreciate all of that. The other thing besides feedback that I wanted to talk about was tools. I mentioned that before. I've been given a lot of tools from the 30-day challenge and from other things, and I just want to continue giving you guys tools. This isn't a how-to, this is a what-to. And I'm going to show you different places to go, different tools to use, what I'm using, what I'm learning from other people that is working, and hopefully you guys will do the same thing. You'll try something, you say this doesn't work, and you'll let the rest of us know. We can learn from each other's mistakes, learn from each other's successes, and see what works for us, what doesn't. And that's again coming right back to feedback. So for some reason, those two topics really intertwined with kind of the day's work today. Um, the last thing that I want to do is get back to my quotes. I have been missing doing my quotes, and I came up with some quotes today on tools and on feedback. Um, One was that the, the the feedback one was one that was real nice. I said there was one that says, "I've learned that something constructive comes from every defeat," and that was from Tom Landry. And I've learned that something constructive comes from every defeat. And what I've learned in my life is that I learn things a lot when I succeed. You know, you learn a lot of different great things when you do something well and when you succeed, but when you do something wrong, when you make a mistake, when you fail at something, and now failure is just the inability to continue moving on. Nothing's a failure. Everything's a learning process. Everything's an education. But with that mentality, you're always winning. You can't lose because you've learned something. And if you've learned something, you've made progress, so you haven't lost a thing. But with every defeat, when you do something wrong, you learn that really well. There's a lot of great things you learn when you do something right, but when you do something wrong, you usually learn one or two things really hard, really well. It's one or two things that just get drilled into you. What not to do? Look, ma, no hands, no feet on the bicycle. Don't do that. What worked? Holding, looking over my shoulder, pedaling this fast. You learn all these little things, but trust me, when you learn that one thing that I fell off the bike and now I'm missing a tooth, I promise you, I learned that well. And that's one thing I've learned. I always learn more more solid lessons from every little defeat, every little setback. I learn something from. And it's sometimes you take for granted the things you learn when you succeed. You think, oh well, it went right, it went well, and you just kind of, it doesn't seem as an important an issue. So think about that when you guys have something going on. The last quote I had was, "In order to excel, you must be completely dedicated to your chosen sport. You must also be prepared to work hard and be willing to accept constructive criticism. Without 100% dedication, you won't be able to do this." And that's a quote by Willie Mays. I'm sure a lot of you know who that is. Now, again, he talked about constructive criticism and being dedicated. Now, you can't let someone's constructive criticism push you off. If you're trying to give someone criticism, the best thing to do is to sandwich it. What that means is you say something, "You're doing this well. I think this could get worked on, but also that's really great." And you kind of sandwich what you're saying, your real point of what you're trying to get across with two nice compliments, and it really softens the blow. Some people can take a lot of offense when you're trying to be constructive and trying to give them something positive to think about. Um, the last quote, I know I said last, but this one I just want to give you. It's really funny. Um, and this is one about tools. It says one only needs two tools in life: WD-40 to make things go, and duct tape to make them stop. And with that, guys, thank you. Day 10. I'll see you again tomorrow.